Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Slumpy from Slumpy Adventures and I am so happy to have you here today. Today, I'll be answering a question that I get asked quite often when I'm doing panels or just generally talking about travel. And that question is, what is a hostel? A hostel is something that can be compared to a college dorm room. You're sharing a space, generally bunk beds, though not always, with a bunch of strangers. You may be thinking that it's a bit scary to share a room with a bunch of strangers. However, some of my best experiences and memories were made in hostels. While you might not have as much privacy or luxury as you would compared to a nice hotel, there are a ton of benefits to staying in hostels. Before I get into some of the benefits, I'd like to talk about some things you can be on the lookout when you're looking to book a hostel. First of all, I like to book hostels that have curtains or something that gives me a bit of privacy. Just because you're traveling and going to a place where there's going to be different people around doesn't mean you need to be out in the open when you're sleeping. While some people are totally okay with that, I do prefer to have more of a capsule style hostel or something that just has a curtain that goes down. So if someone else is shining their light or up late or anything, maybe I just don't like seeing people seeing me sleep, I can have a curtain that I can close and feel a bit more comfortable when I rest at night. Other things you should look out for hostels are the reviews, making sure that it is a hostel that actually is decent. Most hostels I've stayed at have been wonderful, but you do need to check the reviews. Not only for reasons such as making sure it is a reputable hostel in a safe location, but also so you can gauge what kind of hostel it is. There's a couple different kinds of hostels. One of those is like a relaxed, general traveling style hostel. Another one of those is a party hostel. Another type of hostel is a party hostel, and it might not say it in the name, or it might, but some hostels attract different crowds. So if you go to a party hostel, you're likely going to be not sleeping very much. There might be people who are partying outside, or maybe there's just a lot of drinking going on. And if you're someone who doesn't like to be around that, then be sure you check reviews before booking. I've only ever had an experience once where I accidentally ended up in a party hostel. That's not really my vibe. I'm not huge on drinking or anything, but it was a time. It was a nice hostel, really great, just not my vibe or my kind of people. So now that I've talked about that, let's get to some of the benefits of hostels. First one is quite obvious, and it's that they're a lot cheaper than staying in a hotel. Because you're splitting the accommodation cost with different people, you are going to end up saving a lot of money. The cheapest hostel I stayed in was in Bangkok, Thailand, and it was only $6 a night. That's really crazy. Even for Thailand, that's an amazing price. My general cost, I would say, would be around $13 to $15 US. And yeah, I think that it was really fair for what I got. I like to stay in some hostels that do provide a little bit more comfort personally, again, like having curtains. Another benefit to staying in hostels is you get to meet all sorts of different people and meet lots of different travelers. I think this is great, especially for solo travelers. So when I was traveling, I stayed at a hostel in Moalboal in the Philippines. It was called Pig Dive Hostel, and I highly recommend it. I met some of the greatest people there. If you want to check back at my Philippines Kawasan Falls video, that was with all of the people that I met at this hostel, and it was an amazing time. So I actually still stay in contact with these people. We send texts to each other every now and then, and I ended up traveling to Vietnam and meeting up with one of these people again. So I definitely recommend hostels for solo travelers or people who are simply looking to make some friends while traveling. Another reason I recommend staying in hostels is because they often offer a lot of activities or excursions. And a lot of times they will provide activities in order for you to meet people. Sometimes at more of a party hostel, they might have drink and chat nights where they invite people to come together and drink and have conversations. Other ones might have morning yoga lessons where you get to join in and just relax enjoying the view. Not every hostel has activities, but a lot of them do, and oftentimes they are included in the price of your stay. Other times, like when I went to Kawasan Falls, it is simply arranged by the hostel and you pay a little bit extra in order to go and do these activities. But again, I would have never gone to Croissant Falls by myself, so I'm so grateful to the friends I made at Pig Dive Hostel who were able to encourage me, and we all went together. Now, let's say that you'd like to stay at a hostel in order to meet different people, but you might not be into that whole sharing a room with strangers situation. That's okay, I totally get it. I do recommend getting outside of your comfort zone and giving it a try, but if that's just not for you, or maybe you know you are a mad snorer and you don't want to inconvenience others, a lot of hostels do offer private rooms, and you can still join in on all of the activities available. These are generally going to be a bit more expensive than the dormitory style rooms, but if you want a bit more privacy but still want to get in and meet different people, I would say that that is the next best option. Now, if I've convinced you to give hostels a try, you may be wondering, where the heck do I even find hostels to stay at? Well, there's a few different options, and I'm sure there's more that I won't even cover today. One of those has it listed right in the name, and it is Hostel World. Hostel World provides a wide range of different hostels all over the world, so you can look and see where in your destination might have hostels available to stay at. Another site that I've used to book hostels is hotels.com. There's a lot of hostels actually available on this site despite the name. So I have the hotels.com app. I just go on there and I take a look and see what hostels are in the area. Generally, if you set your price range to lower, and I think, though I'm not certain, you might even be able to filter it to look for hostels only, you can find all sorts of different hostels. Or maybe there's a hostel that someone has recommended to you. Ask them to send you the name of it or the link or such. It's a great time. And if you're still struggling, well, I have some news for you. You can just go onto Google, look over the general area you'll be staying, and type in hostels to the search bar and see what pops up. There might be some hostels in the area that aren't listed on either of these sites. A lot of people might be a bit concerned about sharing a room with strangers, and while they may be open to it, maybe you're feeling a bit hesitant. Maybe you aren't quite comfortable sharing rooms with an opposite gender. I totally get that. I know not everyone is comfortable with it, especially in the climate of this world. But I do personally feel that sharing in mixed dorms is the most comfortable for me because I get to meet more people. But if that is not for you, some hostels do offer separate gender rooms. So if you would like to, you can totally find a hostel that allows you to stay with your own gender. That way you don't have to worry about any of those worries that may be in your head. I totally understand, and you should definitely do whatever is comfortable for you. Again, personally, I prefer mixed hostels just because I love to interact with all different sorts of people, and I find that they're generally the least cliquey. While yes, get out of your comfort zone while traveling, try new things you wouldn't have back home, and experience all sorts of things. But if it just doesn't feel right in your gut, going with the same gender dormitory is totally okay. I think that's all for today. If you have any more questions about hostels, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will answer them right away. Thank you again for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton and I really, really appreciate it. I would love to keep making videos for you, and getting new subscribers, likes, and comments definitely motivates me to push on. So thanks again and stay tuned for next week's video. Thank you again. Goodbye and take care.